Hey guys, my name's Dharmesh. I'm going to talk about trends for cryptocurrencies and ICOs in 2018. I've got over a decade experience in asset management technology. I'm co-founder of OctaveWealth, which is a 401k pension provider based out of San Francisco. I'm a Y-Combinator alum. I was in the same batch as Brian from Coinbase. If you know. I also do stuff for Y-Combinator in the UK, including startup school and some outreach work. Back in the day, I worked in the city as a quant programmer at Fidelity and BlackRock. Above all, I'm a technologist. I love this space. So I'm actually going to talk a bit about 2017, and before going to So, by all accounts, 2017 was a blockbuster year for crypto. Crypto hit over $300 billion in market caps really recently. For comparison, it took 8 years to get to 200 billion. It took 24 days to get that extra 100 billion. Coins are at all-time high. It crossed 10,000 today. It started the year at 1,000. Trading volumes at all-time highs. It's been a year of ICOs. For those that you don't know, an ICO is when a new cryptocurrency is created as a crowd sale to fund the initial creation. $3.8 billion was raised this year in 228 ICOs. That's about the same amount of money as all of angel and seed funding in this year, and it's been a record year for VC. It's also been a year of volatility. So the regulators have been extremely busy. China and South Korea have banned ICOs, and they've clamped down on exchanges because of basically scams and pumps and dumps and pyramid schemes. There's been a bunch of forks, like the biggest one was Bitcoin Cash, which created just more uncertainty. And as Troy was saying, there was a software bug which that's worth $300 million of Ethereum are just locked in the ether because of a bug. So it's still currently the Wild West. Before giving any predictions, I'm going to talk about I'm going to add some color to how I think about crypto. And the idea is to give a bit of a framework to how to think about these things so you guys can develop an intuition yourself. Disclaimer is, I don't think I'm an expert. I don't think anyone's an expert. It's just very little precedent. Things are moving very fast, and it's extremely unpredictable. So I like to think about the fundamentals. I think there's two parts to it. There's the technology and there's the economics. Blockchain itself is it's like a breakthrough in computer science. It's also something called the Byzantine generals problem, which is all about consensus. It provides a powerful tool for building these distributed systems, but there's problems around speed and energy cost. The economics is about, if I've got this technology, where can I apply it to? Is it actually better than the incumbents? And overall, it's not magic. It can't solve everything. And the things, before trading off fundamentals, the general disclaimer is markets can remain irrational longer than he can stay solvent. So trends, my general thesis is most coins are junk, but I'm very bullish on the underlying technology. We're trying to work out where on the adoption curve Bitcoin is. So this is a slide from Gartner earlier this year. They seem to, for those know, adoption curve is when there's emerging technology. Usually there's a period of hype and it kind of collapses, and then there's further adoption. So Gartner seems to believe we're over here on the downward cycle. I'd be inclined to say we still haven't reached the peak of inflated expectations. I think we're going to see some of the killer use cases. We're going to see some of the killer use cases play out this next year. There's currently a Cambrian explosion of new blockchain ideas, new blockchain companies, and a lot of these use cases don't really make any sense, but some of them will. I think we'll see continued dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum. I believe they are, not just by market cap, but they seem to be in the solution space of Bitcoin's like a local maxima. So I don't think we'll see any major new cryptocurrencies unless there's a corresponding breakthrough in computer science. Some of the potential fixes for the problems like speed and energy, like the Lightning Protocol and Casper, I'm generally skeptical about these things, but these things do need to be solved. But I don't think they'll be solved in the next year. I think we'll see further embrace from institutional finance. This year, there's 90 new hedge funds in the crypto space. I think we'll see continued money pouring in from institutional. The CME are going to launch their futures contracts. I think the regulator is going to be more active in terms of clamping down on outright fraud, but I think they're also going to be licensing legitimate uses of the technology. I think a lot of the volume in trading space is going to move from consumer to institutional. I think there's going to be some crashes. I think you've got a situation where a lot of these coins are junk, and you add in a lot of huge volatility. It's mostly unregulated, and you got lots of consumer investors who basically just taking a punt. There's going to be people who have a bad year. They're going to lose a lot of money, but I don't think it's going to destroy the space. I think the technology is legit, but there'll definitely be some crashes. Something I'm excited about is, and which I'm working on now, is a way to do regulated ICOs as an alternative to equity fundraising. I think there's ways to make the equity markets more efficient. If you're interested in that, please give me a shout. Thanks, guys. That's me. Hey.